All right. Let's talk about Elon pulling out, because Couture Leotards, I never disappoint you. I always talk about the pullout. And I'm going to give you the what I think is important on this, because I think a lot of people are missing the ball on this one. So let's go here. Twitter shares plummet as Elon raises doubts about acquisition, right? So their shares are dropping big. And this has been happening for a while. And this happened a month ago or 2 months ago. And this has been happening repeatedly. Their shares are down, not looking good. And Twitter has said, we're going to sue him. We're going to sue him for the drop. And I believe right now, the drop is so significant. I think they said Twitter spent over the last 3 months, $33 million on the Elon Musk deal. They claim that. Of course they claim. So this is what their damages would be. So Twitter is saying we spent that amount on the deal. So we had that in cost. So now we want 33 million back. And then on top of that, they have possible damages. They could say, oh, well, this damaged our stock, right? There's some sort of damages there they could throw in there for the stock. But certainly for the costs. That's what they definitely want to recoup, is those costs, the $33 million. Now, do I believe that's legit? Okay, so let me tell you this. I work for a company, a pretty big company, but we're not talking like Twitter and SpaceX and Tesla size, but a very large American company. I work for them. I was general counsel, right? Or associate general counsel, because general counsel sounds like the head lawyer. I was underneath the head lawyer. Let's put it that way. But I was very high up, privy to a lot of conversation. So point of the matter is that in these deals, there's a shit ton of lawyers working on this. Shit ton of lawyers working on mergers and acquisitions. And even if you're using your in-house lawyers, which are much cheaper, you're spending tons of man hours on that. Is it 33 million? It could be, depending on how much they farmed out to other firms. You would be surprised at legal bills. The legal bills would melt your brain. There are lawyers that charge $1,000 an hour. And some large corporations, like your Twitters, like your Coca-Colas, they require you to hire certain firms in New York that bill at $700, $800, $900, $1,000 an hour. So I would not be surprised if their costs were in the millions. Now, are they exactly 33? Maybe, maybe not. But Elon says that they failed their side of the deal, that Twitter failed their side of the deal because they failed to report the bots. Twitter says, no, we didn't. We gave you everything you wanted. I'm calling bullshit on Twitter here. And here's why. The fact that their stock boomed on Elon's acquisition and dropped when he gets out tells me everything I need to know, that Twitter investors, by and large, feel like Twitter is stagnant or going on the wrong track. Stagnant at best, declining at worst. They also, I think many people have concerns about bots. We even brought this up. Even Chris Boozy, during the Amber Heard trial, brought up bots as a thing. Of course, they reneged on that. They doubled back down on that. Or sorry, they backed away from that because they said, oh, wait, shit, Elon's talking about bots now. If we talk about bots, that means there are bots, and therefore Twitter's in trouble, and we need Twitter to support our woke agenda. So we got to back Twitter up. So, oh no, it's humans. It's humans. It's human bots. It's like Sullivan the Witch says, Attorney Thomas Tall, Twitter does not have bots. There is no nose on that lawyer. They want you to ignore the facts. And they also want you to ignore this fact. This is a good one, Luke. It says it's not just Twitter is all bots, that Twitter is creating bots. That's what that's a great fact. Is that they really don't want you to know what they are doing to push content and to push things up in the algorithm. What they want to push up in the algorithm, by the way. So I think that this is really, really, really damning for Twitter. I think it doesn't look good. There is some hope, though. I think the hope is that Twitter, if they go through a trial, if they actually sue, you know what happens? Discovery. And you know what Elon can try to prove? The truth, whether or not there are bots. And imagine if Elon imagine this 4D chess game, right? Because if Twitter wants to sue Elon, which I believe they think they're moving towards suing him, he gets discovery. And as part of discovery, he gets to look in, are there actual bots or not? And they are forced, they are compelled to produce. So see, they didn't want to produce during the merger. They were fighting him during the merger. So I think Elon said, you know what? Fuck you. I'll see you in court. You're going to have to prove it. It's like defamation, right? In defamation, the truth is the ultimate defense. You're trying to prove what is the truth and what is not the truth. So Elon, in this merger deal, will be able to go in, look at their algorithm and say, no, they're fucking lying. They've got a shit ton of bots. And I think Twitter is panicking. I think they're shitting themselves right now. I think they're trying to delete as many bots as they can. I think they're trying to bury that narrative, because if this goes to court, I don't think this looks good for Twitter, because objectively, we all know there's bots. I had people during the trial about Amber Heard bots just sending me data. Shout out to, I'm not gonna tell anybody who. I don't want to dox anybody. But I think when you look into it, it's a rampant problem. By the way, I don't think Twitter's the only platform. I'm not picking on Twitter. I think it's a problem for a lot of platforms. Look at Instagram, right? If you want to boost your Instagram, people can flood you with bots. Now, the platforms can get better about taking out those bots. You know, if you do that, if you pay for that, they're going to nuke those bots eventually, if the algorithm is trying to. And there's easy ways to be able to do it. So I think it's a fucking checkmate Twitter. Like Farron said, I think it's checkmate Twitter. I think Twitter is putting themselves in a really, really, really bad spot. And you know what's crazy too? Once Twitter loses, imagine how devalued they'll be, and imagine the discount that Elon could buy them at. Or a group of Elon's confederates, right? A group of people who want to reform Twitter could buy it at a deep discount after they lose a lawsuit with Elon Musk. See, there's the real butter right there. You get the price down through a lawsuit. You prove they have bots. Their stock price goes in the fucking dirt, and people buy it for pennies. GameStop stock looks like gold compared to Twitter stock at that point. I think if they lose a lawsuit with Elon Musk, I mean, that's it. RIP their stock. RIP their stock. And yeah, Eliza pointed out, Elon's good at chess. I don't think he's an idiot. I don't think he thought he was just like he had one move and he was like, oh, nope, I'm going to move out. I think Elon thinks things through. I mean, he's got that sort of creative mind, but he's also got that engineering mind where he's thinking and he's analyzing this. Twitter is just like in self-preservation woke mode, right? They've got to like continue to virtue signal while also trying to hide what they're doing with bots, while also trying to suppress people in the algorithm, while also trying to ban random beavers. I mean, it's a lot of work. And by the way, that's exactly what they're afraid of. Farron's making some good points today. Do YouTube next. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure. For sure. That's something that I think it needs to come. And I think that's what a lot of social media is afraid of. And by the way, I think this will get social media to straighten up. And honestly, this has been a long time coming. This has been a very long time coming where social media has been one area of the corporate law and you know, the corporate sphere that's kind of been untouched. You're even seeing this happen with other corporations now, where they've gone too far and they're being checked. And by the way, certainly when you're in a recession, when we're moving towards a recession, you need companies that are running efficiently and effectively and not throwing money out the window. You can't be constantly virtue signaling at the cost of capital. Big companies like Disney are learning this. That's what I know. I talk with Valiant Renegade a lot, right? And he talks about how their movies are losing money, right, objectively, and how they're hurting. They're not making the same money they used to. And when you get into tighter economic times, you start to think more carefully about what you're investing in. So that's just my 2 cents there. I think this is actually, honestly, to me, this is 4D chess. This is great. And this can really impact the internet. Because imagine if ultimately we get some change out of Twitter. I think that would be great. And I think, like Short Order Cook says, transparency and truth. That's what we could get out of this. I'm not saying get your hopes all the way up, right? I'm not making a false promise. I'm just saying it can happen. It can happen. And this is a way, would be a proper way to use the legal system. And I think that's what discovery should do. Discovery is, the word discovery is about discovering the truth, revealing the truth. And Twitter is a platform, and social media and a lot of these internet platforms, they need the truth revealed. For too long, they've gotten away with bullshit, with lying, with having fucking robot alien Mark Zuckerberg get up there and just outright lie about what's going on with Meta. They've got away with that. We should not allow them to do that anymore. They need to be held accountable. And this is a great point for accountability. A great point for accountability. All right. So that's what we got for that. Let me do a little poll in the chat though, because I want to see what you guys think on that. Let's see. So let me get right here. Oh, by the way, Bella Stella says, "What a catch! All the single guys, dream lady here." Appreciate that, Bella. Appreciate that. So, is Elon playing 4D chess? I want to see what you guys think. We put that one out there. Okay, so that poll is up. So, is Elon playing 4D chess? I want to know what you guys think. Because if you guys think he's just, he doesn't know what he's doing, then that's one thing. But I think I'm on the side of thinking that Elon has at least a plan. That he has not just thought about one move and that's all he's got. And what's up? I see some of my other members joining too. What's up, Almi Gates? Try to say hi to my members. Appreciate that. All the people in base legal mindset. You now have access to a lot of emojis, a shit ton of emojis. You got the soju, you got the whiskey, you got all the waifus, you got a cat girl, vampire girl, elf girl. You got the toilet paper, you got the Murphy, you got the unbreaded, you got the Amber Turd. You guys got a lot of stuff.